All right, Dennis, welcome to your own 10-year anniversary party.
Thank you for inviting me.
Of course. Well, thank you for inviting me because I was telling you and Michael, I honestly feel honored that you guys would even think to invite me all the way out to Kissimmee or Orlando, Florida for you guys' 10 years. It's a big, exciting event.
It is, absolutely. It's a big milestone, right? I don't think there's a lot of companies that make it to the 10-year mark, so we're so excited about the past 10 years, but also the upcoming 10 years.
So 10 years, what's the number one thing that you kind of had taken away from this? Did you even expect it would end up being the way it is?
Absolutely not. When we just started out, we were managing around 20 homes, and it's just impossible to imagine that you would be managing one day 200, 300, 400 homes, especially in different locations. So that's probably one of the lessons. It can always be better and bigger than you think it can be. So don't give up, keep going, and just believe in yourself.
If you were talking to Dennis 10 years ago, what's the advice or what's the one thing you say, like, hey, don't worry about this when it comes to that certain milestone or this certain growth or this certain thing with a team member? What do you have to say?
Good question. There's so many things that I wish I knew when I started out, but probably the most important one is get more people on the team sooner, so you can really work on growing the business, not working in the business, not working 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. So build your team as soon as you can.
Do you think you've mastered as an entrepreneur, and we have a lot of entrepreneurs that watch and listen, do you think you've mastered work-life balance or alignment, or do you think you're constantly still in that hustle mode?
No, absolutely not. My brain never stops, but I think that's just the way I am.
Yeah, the curse of an entrepreneur.
I'm always thinking, hey, what can we do better? When I go somewhere, when I travel, when I visit events or go to conferences, there's always things like, hey, what if we take this and implement it in our business? So it never really stops, but I also don't mind. For me, it doesn't feel like work, and I think that is really key. From the moment that it feels like work, then it's time for me to move on. As long as I'm excited to get up in the morning and build on my business, I can keep on going for the next 10 years at least.
So I was going to say, so the next 10 years, if you're still excited 10 years from now, in 20 years, are you going for a 30?
I have no idea. I hope so. My goal is definitely not to exit in the next few years. Never say never, of course, but there's so much more that we can do. I think there's definitely room for a good brand in vacation rentals, like what you see in hotels. And we're working really hard with our franchise system to be one of those brands, so that you know what to expect wherever you are in the world. If you stay in a Casiola Vacation Homes, every home is going to be unique, but there's a couple of standards that you can expect in each and every of our homes, so that you can be assured that you have a great experience.
How is that going with the franchise? I know we met obviously with Russ a little bit earlier before this, but tell me about the franchise rollout. Is it going as expected? If you were to do this 5 years early, would this have worked? What do you think?
I don't think we would have been ready 5 years ago. So I think it was the right timing for us as a company to do it. Now, just like with every business plan that you make, everything takes twice as long than you expect and costs twice as much money than you think it's going to cost. So same here. It took a lot longer to get that first franchisee signed. But we're gonna have we have some exciting news tonight to share. So
so you're saying I should keep recording throughout the event?
Keep recording. Don't go home yet.
So there's some good morning hospitality news probably gonna come out here. Awesome. Well, I'm always curious. Going into, you know what is happening in the landscape of vacation rentals, short-term rentals, not just in Florida or Aruba or any part that you guys are operating in. You get to also see a high level too from every conference you go to, from all the events that we've all been to. I would love to know, what is your outlook as you've had this huge 10-year time of reflection with this like future movement that we're seeing? I think we're seeing a big pivotal change in our industry. I want to know if you feel the same and what you're looking at.
Yeah, no, we expect also huge change in the next few years, and it has mainly also to do with Generation Z coming into the workforce. There's going to be a tremendous, the biggest wealth transfer in the history of mankind in the next few years. I think $84 trillion is going to move from older generations to younger generations.
Yeah.
And they have a completely different view on things. They grew up connected with the internet, with cell phones. They've never known anything else. But they're also very hypersensitive to several social issues and global warming and the planet. So I think as a company, we're going to have to change the way we do business. We're going to have to take all those concerns into account and really be more mission driven, make sure that your values are right with younger demographics as well on the traveler side, as on the owner side, as on the employee side. So I think that's going to be a big challenge for all of us. It's not business like usual. If you don't adapt in the next few years, you're going to be extinct, that's for sure.
So you're telling me, I want to know, this is probably a whole nother topic for another full-on recording, but what is the Casiola mission for you guys?
So our mission has been always like we want to create everlasting memories through extraordinary hospitality. So that's our mission. Now, one of the things we also going to announce today is we also have something that we call the 5 ingredients of our extraordinary hospitality. Because it's easy to say we want to provide extraordinary hospitality, but what does that mean? So we have 5 ingredients of extraordinary hospitality. The first one is safety. Safety always comes first. Second one is service. We want to provide the best possible service. The third one is spotlessness. We know that the unit has to be clean. Even if the unit is a little bit dated and older, as long as it's clean, you can get away with it. But if you have a brand new property and it's dirty, you're gonna get hell from your guests. So the fifth one is gonna be social responsibility. So what we're gonna do from now on is not just look at the profit for our shareholders, but balance the 3 P's as they call it. That's the people, the planet, and profit. And that's gonna be a big change for us because we've never done that before. But in the next few months, we're gonna roll out a lot of initiatives that keep that social responsibility in mind.
Awesome. I've always heard the 3 P's as people, profit, and product, but you put planet in there instead. So should be interesting. I can't wait to hear as you unroll this. But it's going to be very fascinating. I have to say again, thank you for so much for having me out here. And then 2, also, one piece of advice for any entrepreneur listening right now, whether they're in our industry or not. What's one thing you could say, if you can do this in 10 years, you can do this in the next?
It's all about the experience, and I know if we're like all sucked in that day-to-day tornado, you may forget about why are we doing this, and we want to provide the most amazing experiences and memories for our guests and our owners. And sometimes it's necessary to take a few steps back and think about why did you get into your business and what can I do today to get back to that initial idea when you got started. So take the time to take a few steps back and work on your business. Don't get sucked in your business.
I love it. And everyone that's watching, we have to dance out now. See ya.
Woo!
I love it.